Did you know it's always worth reading any legal document through out loud? That way you're more likely to hear any mistakes. My name's Annabelle and I am a serial renter. I have rented over 46 properties and counting. I'm here to share with you all my renting tips and tricks I've learned along the way. The highs, the lows, the in-betweens and the absolutely ridiculous. This week's anecdote is about reading your contract. This is the AST that used to be in before the new rental reform bill. It was a very long document with lots of information about the tenant, the landlord, what you can do, what you can't do, the terms and conditions, payment terms, deposit information, leaving information. All of that is on there. Also, the addresses in several different places. I got through a contract for a property I was renting, and I took the postcode of the property, put it into BT because I wanted to source BT broadband. I put it in on their site and it went, we don't know that address. I was like, that's a bit strange. Let me do it again. Still couldn't find it. So then I went to put it in Waitrose to see if I can order any shopping. No address available. If you're unsure about an address, postcode, and you can't find it or the information's incorrect, you need to get in touch. Royal Mail Postcode Department. I spoke to a lovely lady, told her all the information, gave her the postcode. She went, we've got nothing on that road with that address and that postcode. Let me give you a suggestion, she said. Go back to your local council and ask for name and postcode department of new properties for the area. So I did. I called a lovely lady called Sue. Sue was most helpful. Sue said, yes, it does exist, but not with that postcode and not with that address. Like, Sue, how's that possible? I'm supposed to be renting somewhere in less than a week, and on my contract it's listed that address 3 times with that postcode. But the reason I'm phoning you is because it's not on BT to do BT broadband. It's not on Openreach to source that. I can't find it anywhere. She said, give me a couple of hours and I'll come back to you. She did. What transpired was, it was a brand new build. The builders had registered for land registry, for title deeds, with the wrong address and the wrong postcode. I contacted the agent, I contacted the landlord, and I contacted Sue, and I left them all with it and said, if you don't sort it out in the next 48 hours, I'm moving elsewhere. As it happened, it got all sorted out, but there was one little extra surprise that they hadn't banked on. There was already somebody moved in the property, and his lease had got the wrong address completely. Road, name, number, postcode. So he was living in a property, renting a property that didn't actually legally exist, and he was paying rent on that. He could have got up, walked out and left it, and there was nothing they could have done. So bit of advice for you is always read your contracts, and I say read them out loud because you're more likely to hear a mistake. One of the biggest tips is, how do you find somewhere? Jumping back to last week, I fully recommended Rightmove, but one of the other biggest areas to exploit, so to speak, is your friends, family, anybody you know who's renting and says an awful lot how lovely it is to be there, what a great landlord. Ask them if there's anything coming up. Ask them for the landlord's number. Speak to people you know, speak to people in bars or pubs who say how good it is where they live. Word of mouth is always the best. I hope that's helped just a little bit more on 2 more great points about renting property here in the UK. Have a lovely week. I'll see you very soon for episode 3 of Serial Renter. Bye for now.